Hey leaders, today I want to talk to you about the leadership tool of ideas with impact. What is this leadership tool about? It is really about how do you get an idea to really become effective in a business. Have you ever had an idea where you thought it was a great idea, but for some reason people just didn't really get bought into it, or it didn't get implemented, or even if it got implemented long term, it kind of fizzled out? Well, this is what we want to try to address, is how do you create an idea and how do you implement it so long term that it has a continual effectiveness in the business and on others that you want it to impact? Well, really, there's a simple formula that we want to talk about. It's really a formula that's used oftentimes within industry. It says Q times A equals E. What does that mean? It means the quality of an idea, right, times the acceptance of that idea equals the effectiveness of that idea. Now that makes sense, right? The quality of idea, it has to be a great idea first and foremost that has a lot of really great implication and great thoughtfulness that went into it, multiplied by the acceptance of that idea, right, by the team, by the business, by the organization, equals the effectiveness of that idea. Right? So what we want to talk about is break each one down. First off, it's the quality of an idea. First off, if you haven't had a chance to go back and watch it, make sure you look at the 5 whys. That's a great tool that you can look at to really figure out how do you find great solutions to problems in the business. Identifying the root cause of a problem and finding the right solution. So that's a great activity to go through to make sure that you have a quality idea first and foremost that is really addressing a core problem in the business. Now, once you have a great idea and a quality idea, then you have to make sure that you have the acceptance of that idea in the business. And when I think about acceptance, we really talk about A to the 5th power. There's 5 A's that really come to acceptance of an idea. The first one is advocacy, right? First off is just making sure that other people are bought into your idea and are advocating as that is the right solution. So if this is broken in the business, everybody says, hey, this idea is actually the solution for that. You want to make sure that the team, the leadership of the organization is first bought in to your idea and advocating as your idea as a solution for that idea. Now, the second aspect of it is activation. You want to make sure that you're able to activate that idea. A lot of great ideas often die because they don't have great activation. They haven't been thought out as far as how is it going to be implemented? What are all the challenges that are going to come up when you try to implement this idea? And so after you have advocacy, you have to make sure that you have the right activation of that idea. Make sure that there's a great strategy and game plan in place to make sure that idea is activated day in and day out. Once you have the advocacy and activation, you have to have the adoption of that. Now, this is a little bit different than advocacy. Adoption is that it really becomes now everybody's own part of what they do day in and day out. They've adopted your idea as kind of the way that things should happen. And so they've adopted it into their systems and processes, into their daily rhythms. And so it's something that almost becomes second nature to them in what they're doing. Then once you have it as a part of adoption, then that's really where you have acceptance, right? Because everybody's adopted it into their normal rhythm. Now everybody kind of accepts it as like, hey, this is the right system and process. This is what we do, and we all accept it as normal. And then the final aspect of acceptance is awareness. We want to make sure at the end of the day too that people are aware and continue to be reminded, right? If you do a solution but then you don't have recurring training or reminders of everybody, awareness that you build around that idea, then it can be easily forgotten once people leave or transition, or you don't have somebody owning that anymore. Okay, so we have the quality of idea multiplied by A to the 5th power. That's the advocacy, activation, the adoption, the acceptance, and the awareness, and then that gives you the effectiveness of that the solution being implemented into the business. So again, this is what we call just really ideas with impact. It's a great leadership tool to help you take great ideas and make sure that they're really being effectively used in a business, that they build acceptance amongst the team and really are maximized in the business. So thank you all for all that you do. I hope that's a great leadership tool that you can put into your toolkit.